Where are you going?" "Adam Mercer." The voice came from somewhere towards the right of me and stopped me dead in my tracks. It was close to evening, and I was taking a walk near the woods. There it was again. The same voice, but a different question this time. "Do you know who I am, Adam?" I followed the general direction from where the voice had come, and after another couple of minutes, I located the source. On the grass was lying a radio, and it kept on playing the same two sentences in a loop. I turned off the radio instantly, but I was burning with curiosity to know who had left it there. In case you were wondering, my name isn't Adam. It is my character's name in my latest movie, for which I am currently shooting. I walked back to the set, wondering if the entire thing was a prank. That night, I pulled up one of the crew members to the side and asked him if there were any radios lying around on the set. He said he wasn't sure, but that the final count of any props that were used in the movie would have to be approved by the director. I went to my hotel room and called up the director. "A radio?" "No, Ryan, I don't remember seeing a radio on set at all." "Are you sure you are okay?" "It's all right if you want to take a break tomorrow." I told him I was fine, but it had indeed been a rather exhausting week of shooting, and the incident near the woods had only added to my tiredness. I did not realize when my eyes had closed. "Adam Mercer, we meet at last." That voice again. Cold in tone and very steady. The radio came into focus slowly, and this time, I saw a figure standing next to it. The face was covered, but it was dressed in some kind of silvery white coat. In my mind, I must have screamed, but I couldn't vocalize it. "Listen to me carefully. Someone on this set is going to die tomorrow. Tomorrow, do you understand? Unless you warn everyone. If they're not cautious and on their toes, they die. My name is Ryan Reynolds. It's not Adam. Stop calling me that. Just remember what I told you." And with that, the figure in the white coat seemed to fade away. By now, I was fully awake and in a cold sweat. I looked at my phone to check what time it was. 7:15. Shooting wasn't supposed to start until 8. I wonder if I should mention the events of last night to the rest of the team. However, the decision was taken out of my hands very quickly. At 7:15, I got another call from the director. "Ryan, are you awake?" His voice sounded extremely tense. I told him that I was. He asked me if I could come down to the waiting room immediately. Without bothering to wait for the elevator, I sprinted down the 2 flights of stairs to find the director standing outside the waiting room. What happened? Even though I had a sinking feeling that I already knew, what I saw was utterly shocking. A crew member was lying on the floor, very clearly dead. I realized with a jolt that it was the same guy I had talked to last night, asking about the radio. And talking about radios, there it was. The radio I had seen in the woods yesterday was right there, a bit chipped and bloody at the edges. Was he beaten to death with the radio? "Look, I only asked you to come down here because of the chat we had last night. Do you know anything about this at all?" I told the director what had happened in the woods the previous day, as well as the threat from last night. Even though it sounded absurd to a degree, things had just taken a very ugly turn. Without a word, the director beckoned me to follow him. We went up to his room, and he handed me a very thin book, which couldn't have been more than 30 pages in total. "Go to page 8. Without any idea of what to expect, I began reading. The figure in the white coat. For close to a century now, visitors and locals alike have reported seeing a shadowy figure walk through the woods in both daylight and darkness. Random items and knickknacks have been found in the forest. These include microphones, cassettes, and burned DVDs. The figure is rumored to stalk solo travelers and hikers, taking a shortcut through the forest area. It is typically non-violent and never makes itself known when people walk in groups. Over the years, it has acquired a cult following, with some of its monikers being the Ghost of the Forest of Eden, The specter beyond the wall, among others. Why did you not tell me this before? Because I was naive. I thought it was an urban legend, a scary story for children. I did not want to continue shooting any longer, and the director was in agreement. That evening, I sneaked back to the woods, and sure enough, the voice called out to me one last time. You did the right thing, Ryan Reynolds. Far too many people are too curious for their own good, and it is necessary to remind them that curiosity comes with a price. The radio was lying around 50 yards away from me, and as I walked away, I could hear the faint hum of a song coming from it.